Okay, if you've filmed it and you see your club at quite a kind of low angle relative to the ground, this is called getting the club out of balance. It happens very early and it's probably the most common thing that I see. And the reason it's very destructive is because as soon as the club and the mass of the club get out of balance, you have to reorganize and restructure that club to get it back into orbit. And as soon as you start lifting it and raising it out of position, then you start making things go in some funky places. So if there's a really good checkpoint is to get the start right, but also to get it in balance halfway back. And when I say in balance here, I mean, by the time my left arm is parallel to the ground, my hands are in the middle of my chest. The club is between my forearms. It's not underneath my right forearm. It's not on my left forearm. It's kind of balanced in between the two. It almost makes a little arrow, I always think. My right forearm, my left forearm, and the shaft kind of make a little arrow. So it's really important you get that club nestled and balanced, because from here, all I have to do is wind my body up and the club will go to the top in a lovely little slot. And then from there, everything's much easier to get it down into a slot on the way down. So how do you do it? How do you get it more balanced? Well, put a T in the end of the grip, number one. And if you've got access to an alignment stick, that would be really helpful. So I'm not on the outside, obviously, so I've got this on a stand, but just get an alignment stick and put it roughly at the angle that you set up with the club. Don't put the club dead on it, have it a little bit further away, and obviously to start with, have it a long way away. You don't want to put it in a dangerous position. But put the T in the end of the grip. What you're trying to do is keep the club outside your hands at the start of your swing. You do not want to roll it under this early. Keep it outside your hands at the start. Then point the T down between you and the ball, missing this thing, and just try and match the angle of the shaft to some extent. It doesn't have to be dead precise. It just has to be rough. So, you know, just really point the T down, get the club up on its end so it feels balanced, feels like it's kind of somewhere resembling this. You haven't kind of clattered into it early, which a lot of people would do. And then just gradually hit some little shots, just trying to do that, just trying to replicate that. Just trying to replicate getting into a rough position halfway back, and then gradually build that up into your fuller swing. But it's so important you get that club balanced by the time your left arm's parallel. It is a common factor and a common denominator of all the great players I've worked with, is getting that club in a decent position. So work on that, get it better, and you'll be in business.